This is a Haulotte 55-foot bucket lift, but the operation is going to be the same on a 35-foot bucket lift. First things first, when you get your job site, you're going to want to pull the boom latch off the top and then the boom latch off of the front up here. It'll be on there like that. When you get it, right there, take it off. There is two boom presence sensors basically that indicates that it's down. One of them is in here and one of them is back here. If for some reason it's not letting you operate and it's giving you a boom stowed error, those are your two sensors that it's going to be looking for. To operate from the ground, you have a switch here. Turning it to the left, so we're on the ground controls. Down here in the bottom, you can operate the outriggers. So we're going to auto level and extend, and that's going to lower each of these 4 outriggers kind of independently at their own speed. And then when they get all the way down, everything will level out and get where they want to be. Once it's all leveled out and everything's happy, you'll have all these lights will be lit. If for some reason one of them isn't lit, then it's either not all the way down or you have a faulty sensor. Once you get in the basket, your controls are going to look just like this, but it's not going to work until you flip it all the way over. You have a push to kill here, and then in the basket you'll have another push to kill. So when you get in the basket, grab it and then hold one of your booms. You can see how the arrow indicated the lower boom. Look over here, this is going to be the upper boom. Usually the lower boom is going to be the hardest to move, especially on a cold day, because it's lifting the entirety of the machine, essentially. And especially on a cold day, whenever that hydraulic fluid is a little bit on the thick side. Sometimes people are nervous, they don't want to use the rabbit side of the engagement button and they'll be closer to the turtle. If you operate it on the turtle, that's fine. It's just going to open the pump less than it would on the rabbit. So like if you're down here all the way on turtle and you're operating this jib boom, it's going to go pretty fast because it's just operating this jib boom. But if you try to go on the bottom boom, it's going to go quite a bit slower, especially if it's a cold day with that thick hydraulic fluid. Now versus the rabbit. So once you're up in the air, the number one problem people have is they accidentally lean on this push to kill switch, and then once you've done that, nothing will operate until you pull it back out. And you see the lights are flashing. Once those are back on and solid, you're ready to come down. Of course, once you're up in the air, you can rotate it side to side. It's got approximately 359 degrees of rotation, which is to say that if you get it all the way wrapped around, it won't go all the way around. So if you're using it and you get in a spot and you just can't go anymore, it's probably because you've taken it as far as it'll go, and you just have to go back the opposite direction. So, and then of course once you're coming down, you got to line up your cradle down there in the bottom, so we make sure that our boom stows in there and it lands on that operator presence button. If we're low on battery or something and we're coming down and we miss, like right there, I don't know if you can tell, but I missed the cradle. So now it's not going to know that the cradle is in position, so it won't let you lift the outriggers up to move it from this job to another job. So we got to lift it back up. Oops, wrong button. We're lifting it back up, and let's see which direction we need to rotate it. Right there, and then we're coming down again. And now we're all the way in that cradle, so once we get this thing all the way down, it'll be content to let us lift the outriggers. Once our basket's all the way down and stowed, then we're going to switch this back over to ground controls, auto retract, and pull all these outriggers back up off the ground. Whenever you get to your job site, probably the first thing you want to do is disconnect the lift from the ball of your truck. The problem with leveling it out with your truck still attached is, yes, usually it'll do it. The problem you're going to have is when you're 50 foot in the air and the weight of your truck is pulling down on the tongue, it may cause the outriggers to settle out, especially if you're in some soft soil, and now your unit's not level and it won't let you do anything but come down. So the most important thing is to disconnect it from your truck whenever you get to your job site, so you're not having to fight that fight. Once everything is stowed, you want to go ahead and lock your boom lock. That way as you're going down the road, it's holding it secure to the trailer. You're ready to tow. And if you have any other problems, feel free to give us a call. It's 806-373-8326. Thank you.